Welcome in to this episode of the Waiver Wire. This is for week 2. It's going to be a new weekly series we have going here on the Fantasy Six Pack channel. We're going to give you about a few names that might be available in your league to pick up for this week. We also have an accompanying article that gets published on the website as well. Gives you about 10 to 20 other names that obviously might be available in your league. But if you want to get access to that article, you're going to have to go ahead and head on over to fantasysixpack.net/plans. Not only that article, you're going to get a bunch of access to award-winning advice rankings. There's a ton of great stuff. We got a Discord going on over there. So go ahead and if you use promo code F6PMLB, you get an extra 15% off all of our available options over there. So go ahead and do that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel below. I'm Jason Beckner. You can find me on Twitter at JRBex. I'm joined here by JP. You can find him on Twitter at Dapscout.
Jason, I'm a little hurt because you forgot to mention the number one reason to subscribe is because we have the Dapscout pick of the week.
Oh yes, I would be remiss.
I mean, that hurt me. Yeah, so each week I'm also going to be throwing in my own free agent pick as well. So that'll be behind the paywall because it's so fantastic. But yes, I definitely cannot wait to get started this week. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, and not to toot your own horn. I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think last week you had Bryce Terang, second baseman for the Brewers, who did actually have a great week. So hey, Dap's got some great pick of the week. So you definitely want to get access to those picks because he knows what he's talking about. Sometimes.
Thank you. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, exactly. One for one.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So this will be coming out weekly. So just make sure you subscribe to the channel and you'll get access to this video as well. So let's go ahead and jump into this week's top picks this week. We're going to start off with a newly recalled player, actually, and that's going to be Fransisco Alvarez, the catcher for the New York Mets. He was recalled on Friday. Alvarez gets an injury, and this is kind of one of those things that we've just kind of been waiting for. We almost kind of shocked to not see Alvarez on the opening day roster. Here we are a week into the season, and he's on the roster. So far, though, he has not appeared in a game. I'm not sure if they just want to ease him in. They recalled Friday. Let him settle in Saturday, but here's a new week. See if he's available on your wire. Guy's a tank. He hits bombs.
Right.
What else am I missing? What do you know about this guy?
So this is Easter, and this morning the Mets left us a little Easter egg themselves. They said that he's actually starting today.
Oh, there we go.
Now, yeah. So if somehow he's in your dynasty league, you need to grab him right away. I expect him to have the same type of profile as Rushman has in a few years. So definitely, like you said, he hits tanks. He has a great strikeout to walk ratio, and just has massive raw power. Now, beyond that, though, I mean, let's talk about his, the fact that he should have been starting and he should have been up in the majors already. But the Mets have to Met, so. I guess it's okay. And he went down and he looked pretty angry about the whole situation. He already hit 2 home runs down in the minors and was doing everything he was supposed to do. Great bat on ball profile. Absolutely is a grab everywhere you possibly can in single redraft leagues. So grab you some Alvarez if he's still available.
Yeah, we'll piggyback on that. Great on base guys, especially in the on base leagues. He's got almost a 20% walk rate in the minors. So, for those OVP leagues, definitely grab him. Especially grab him in all leagues if you can.
Absolutely.
And then we're gonna jump over to our next guy here. I guess his soon to be fellow teammate, and that's Baty, third base for the New York Mets. This one right now is more of just a speculative ad. Right now the Mets have Eduardo Escobar just turning it up at the hot corner.
That's a scientific term. I apologize.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. So right now, I would assume, I don't know if maybe you've heard of anything. I have not anything yet. I know he did have a minor thumb injury at AAA over the weekend. Nothing to be too concerned about. I think he was back in the lineup. Again, this is a speculative ad. There's maybe some rumblings that he could join the big league roster this week. Which, if that's the case, I don't foresee him, coming back down. Once he's up, you're going to want him on your team, and if he's available in your league, you definitely need to get him. Anything else that we should know about Brett Baty?
Yeah, so a couple things. and this just in, Escobar is turning it up, so that's for sure. I believe he was like 2 for 20 or something terrible.
Mhm.
But when I hear and I see quotes from the organization that say things like, Baty has to get more reps to work on his defense, when he's not one of those players where his defense isn't triple star top rated class, but he's definitely pretty good on defense. It just tells me that either they're trying to mess with his service clock or they're just waiting for any other excuse, because he's ready to go. In spring training this past year, he had a home run, 6 RBIs, just ridiculous 325 batting average with 460 on base percentage. I mean, he was going nuts. But not only that, he's killing it in the minors as well. I mean, home run after home run. He's hitting 400 with 471 on base. He's ready. His bat's ready. And if they're not worried about his defense, then make him DH. I don't know. But I definitely expect him up pretty soon. And if you have him available, grab him now. He should be up here in the next month at the latest.
Yeah, definitely swinging a hot bat. Only 4 games so far in AAA, 2 home runs, 2 stolen bases. And batting at an absurd 400. So you definitely get him if you can.
Just 400. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Work on that. That's
Exactly. All right. Well, from one third baseman to the next guy we're going to go ahead and talk about is Josh Jung of the Texas Rangers. This was my dark horse AL Rookie of the Year. Last year, he was scheduled to basically open the year with the team. However, suffered an injury, put him out until about September. He did have a little cup of coffee last September. The power was there. The plate discipline was not. But this year so far, I mean, he's kind of showing why, he deserves to be in that Rookie of the Year talk. He is currently slashing 267, 313, 500, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, 5 runs. Needs to cut back on the strikeout rates a little bit, right? We want to see that, plate discipline kind of come back, that he's known for at, Texas Tech and then even in the minors as well. So I think it's just a little bit of a learning curve there as a rookie to, get that plate discipline. But if Josh Jung is available in your league, you definitely need to be grabbing him. Like I said, I'm super high on Josh Jung. I think he's can be outperform any sort of fab that you could throw at him right now. What are you thinking?
Right. Well, from one player who needs to work on his defense to a player who absolutely does not need to work on his defense, right? Josh Jung has been spectacular defensively. And why I bring that up is if your bat starts to cool, they can still keep you in there if your glove's amazing. And his glove absolutely is. I don't expect him to keep this incredible trajectory going, but I do expect, some great numbers, like you said, dark horse Rookie of the Year candidate. And the Rangers are going to give him every opportunity, especially, again, with that glove. Yes, I would love to see the strikes come down, but you have a ballpark that allows homers. You have a ballpark that is going to allow you to really play up those power numbers. Josh Jung is an absolute get for me, 100%.
I totally agree. From one hot hitter to the next, we're going to talk about James Outman, who has just been absolutely on fire to start this year. The Dodgers outfielder right now is slashing 365, 533, 955. He's got 2 triples, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs. Almost got a 1-to-1 K to walk ratio. He's reached safely in every game so far this year. I think this was a guy that was not on a lot of shallower leagues radars at draft time. The deeper leagues, obviously, yes, but he is absolutely making a name for himself right now. And if he is available on your waiver wire, you absolutely need to go out and get him because he is proving that he belongs. He does not look overpowered at the plate. I mean, even I'm shocked at what the output has been so far. I mean, obviously he's not going to continue this hot of a streak, but he's definitely surprising my expectations so early on this year. What about you?
Yeah, so his swing, first of all, is this smooth, simple swing that is just ridiculous. I mean, I cannot tell you enough about how much I love watching his swing. Yesterday's home run against Zach Davies had an exit velocity of 106.8, and it would have been a dinger in every park. I love the Would It Dong Twitter, by the way. But so legit power. And I think a lot of people, kind of got prospect fatigue from him, right?
Mhm.
He's been out there for a while. And people, I think, were just kind of like, Outman again. I mean, is he going to come up? The guy is on fire right now. It's just done type of thing. He's, leading. He's number 3 in the MLB with on base percentage with 533, like you'd mentioned. I mean, I cannot wait to just watch him. Right, he's one of those. He's becoming must-watch TV at the moment with how on fire he is, and I cannot just wait to see him. Just one more thing. I don't know if you know this, but he's really good. So just go out and get him, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the OPS, one more thing, is
Yeah.
it's 1.536. I mean,
Same.
that's one of those video game numbers that you see when you put it on easy.
Yep.
So absolutely go grab some Outman if he's still available, or try to see if you can trade him because he's going to be just mashing for a while. This is a great pick.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that was kind of just buried on the organizational depth chart. The Dodgers have always been a huge, play the veterans in the outfield. They've had a ton of great veterans in the outfield. So he was kind of just stuck behind them, and now he's kind of showing that he belongs up here. So, yeah, absolutely grab him. From one rookie outfielder to a next, we're going to go ahead and talk about Garrett Mitchell of the Milwaukee Brewers, who I actually had the pleasure of going and watching on Friday night. He's actually off to another great start. He's got we're talking about OPS. He got a 1.218 OPS, 3 home runs in his last 3 games, including a 2 home run game. Can maybe draw a few more walks and get a little more patient at the plate. But again, when we're talking about rookies, that's obviously one of the hardest things for them to translate into the bigs. Is just the pitching is way more top tier at the major league level, so it's harder for those sometimes to get that great plate discipline. But I think Garrett Mitchell's another one of these outfielders that was a little bit overlooked at draft time. Now he's kind of getting on people's radars. He's just power's there, the speed's there. I think he's going to get to play. He's going to be a everyday starting center fielder for the Brewers, similar to you're talking about the defense with Jung. Garrett Mitchell's going to be there. He's got great defense, so he's going to get the at bats. And I think you should definitely be grabbing him off your waiver wire. What do you think?
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things about Garrett Mitchell, plus speed, power, right? And again, with these new bases and also the lack of pickoffs, hopefully he's going to just go crazy on the base path. But the thing that was kind of always concerning there was he was hitting ground balls. He wasn't getting the ball in the air, and of course he was striking out. Right now, we're seeing neither one of those. And I hope this kind of continues, right? I'm hoping this is definitely something, but it's something to be mindful of. If you start seeing those, Ks start to pick up, you start seeing those ground balls start to pick up, definitely keep an eye on. Am I absolutely in on Garrett Mitchell? Absolutely. I have him in almost, I'd probably say 60 or 70% of my dynasty leagues, but it's definitely something to be wanting to make sure that this is something he's improved on and want to be something that he actually has fixed, right? And it's not just a small sample size change. So yeah, make sure to keep an eye on those ground balls. Make sure to keep an eye on that K percentage. But right now, Garrett Mitchell is just killing it.
Totally agree. All right, well, let's talking about a lot of rookies now. So let's get into some veterans here. This one's going to be Orlando Arcia, shortstop of the Braves. Many people did not see this guy, starting the year. Everyone thought it was going to be Grisham at short. However, they decided to go with the defensive-minded veteran Orlando Arcia. So far this season, he's actually kind of coming out of nowhere. I'm not going to lie. I was off of Arcia at the start of the year. I really don't want any part of him. I think this might be more of like a deeper league, grab. But he started off hot. He had a hit in his first 6 of his first 7 games. But now he's had back-to-back 0 for 4s. But I mean, if you are desperate at shortstop and you need, might as well ride with a hot bat, right? I mean, this is what baseball is all about. You got to find those ups when they're up and the downs when they're down. So
right.
Orlando Arcia definitely is worth our attention right now. But what do you think about the Arcia grab?
I mean, what a great story. He was the top or one of the top prospects with the Brewers organization. Everybody considered him to be, the next guy to kind of take over the organization. And everybody knew about him, right? If you're following prospects, you saw Arcia constantly. And then he came up and he didn't do great. He did pretty terrible. So then he gets traded to the Braves and everybody wants Vaughn Grisham, right? And Arcia takes the job and everybody's like, well, he's not going to have it for long. So, take those Vaughn Grisham shares and, pocket him, and I still have on Christian Scherzer everywhere.
Same.
So
Same.
yeah, but I mean, what a great story. A guy who has the pedigree of a top prospect, absolutely delivering for a great organization. Now, is it a surprise to me that he goes to an organization like the Braves and suddenly he's doing great? No, not at all. Because the Braves have the magic pixie dust that nobody knows, where they hide it all the time, along with the Dodgers, etc. But it's really a feel-good story. He looks amazing. He looks like the Arcia that we expected to have happen with the Brewers, and so the pedigree's there. I definitely buying in Arcia, and I much to the sadness of my Christian Scherzer, or he might might get moved around. Who knows? But I definitely feel like he's going to be up there for a while, as opposed to kind of the the first couple of weeks and then they bring Grisham up. Right now, that bat is hot, and he's playing some great D.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think since joining Atlanta, he's definitely been almost a different player. And similar to how we've been saying about his other guys, defense is going to keep you in that lineup, especially a team like the Braves that are contenders. They want the defense more than the offense right now, and see what their rookies are doing. But I absolutely agree with everything you said.
Yep, great.
All right, let's going to go ahead and end the waiver wire pickups for week 2. Like I said, if you want to jump over to the website and get more names, might be available in your league, go ahead and do that now. And other than that, we'll see you next week.
That was great. Thanks so much.